everyone, I'm McDowell here with another YouTube video, and today is going to be the second part of weapons, and these are mostly a little more advanced weapons, because they require more longer range. And I'm also going to rehash the nunchucks. And the thing is, since I told you I forget which one it came from, where it came from, Okinawa or the Philippines. Believe it or not, it actually did. So my correction, it was actually originally from Okinawa, and it just I read it somewhere. It was actually the Philippines that claimed it as their weapon. But the thing is that every single weapon from different cultures had actually been cut out different, such as like the spear, the javelin, the knives. The different kinds of weapons have been come throughout almost the entire world. So the thing is, it was just a little bit of clarification that it was actually an Okinawa weapon, and that's what I was taught, that it was actually an Okinawa weapon from history. So correction on that. Thank you. So like I said, this is going to be a second rehash of it and give you a little more detail, and then probably later in the video show off some of my nunchuck skills. For that being said, let's get started. Okay, first one is the one that I also enjoy. Is this the Naginata? Now what this basically is was another secondary samurai weapon. They used to carry this down to the battlefield, and one thing that was good for was mostly for distance. Now the one thing they used it a lot most of was basically taking out the horses. So you basically have a horse coming down, charging in front of you. Samurai is ready. Take the horses down, and you're ready to fight if your blade is actually still attached. And like I said, good for crowd control. Good distance. Remember, with a samurai, every strike was one kill. Similar to the sniper. Every shot, one kill. Every cut, one kill with the Naginata. And at one point, and many people actually believe this, that the Naginata, believe it or not, was actually originally a woman's self-defense weapon. So while the samurai would go off from the village, go out fighting a war, originally the villages would become attacked by bandits or by ninja. And the one weapon they tend to fight with, besides the katana, was the Naginata. So the great thing about war is that you never know that throughout history, women have been involved in wars a lot more than you think. And the one thing they were known for was protecting the homestead was a Naginata. That's why most people argue that the Naginata was actually a female weapon before it got into the battlefield. But I'll get more on that in another time, because the entire style is dedicated to the Naginata, just like every single kata is dedicated to at least to one weapon, whether it be the sai, the tafa, the nunchucks, the katana, the Yori or spear, that's called. And the thing is, every single weapon has its purpose and also has a meaning to it, no matter what. So the Naginata was a very long-range, middle-range weapon versus the katanas, where they had different sets of distance. So the one thing is that when it comes to martial arts, is second between both technique and power is also distance, and that goes with everything, whether it be hands, feet, or weapons. Distance. So that is the Naginata. Always take good care of your weapons. So next one I got here is the Yori, or the spear. Now throughout history, every single country had their own different set of the spear. You had the Japanese version, you had the Chinese version with a little sash at the end, you had the Spartan version along with the javelin, and also even the Native Americans had their own spears too, except it mostly was out of grindate or stone. Moses basically chipped the stone, wrap it up with the animal hair or with rope, and you got yourself a spear. And throughout the centuries, even man had found many different ways how to make spears. So basically, the Japanese had their own version of the spear too. So it's a very long, like I said, a very long-ended weapon, but mostly for stabbing and for clocking. But so therefore, if you break the end of your spear, at least you got a long stick. When it comes to actually being an actual warrior in the martial arts, you should never ever have just one weapon on you. So that's my sensei always said, one is none, two is one. If you have one weapon, you might as well just toss that away because you ain't gonna have that very long. That's why it's always good to have two weapons on you in case you ever do get and go into battle. And most of the time, you got in the Navy SEALs and all in the military, they mostly got their rifle, their pistol. I think it's about 4 hand grenades, along with 4 hand grenades, 4 flashbang grenades, their pistol, and a knife. So therefore, always be prepared. If you ever go on battle, always be prepared for it. And that's why you should always respect your Second Amendment rights. You never know when it'll be taken away from you. So that's basically the wisdom to a warrior, is always be prepared. Okay, and this is just for show. This is my old bow staff. Now the thing is, like I said in the last video, the two kinds of bow staff are really going to be at least about 5 foot or 6 foot. So now you know how tall I am with a 5 foot bow staff. Yeah, I know, ladies, you like you got a 6 foot, but hey, it doesn't matter the size; it's what you do with it. So doesn't matter. Like, the thing is, the smaller the wood, the more faster you'll be. And the best way to start with children is always start off with something smaller, lighter, and more flexible. Because if they're the ones who are alive, you need something a little more alive, just like a staff. So mostly when kids go to tournaments, this is the one thing they're usually working with. But you gotta start off small with the kids. If they can't lift a big 6 foot, I think when I say it weighs about 2 ounces, this burying weighs an ounce. So therefore, if you have a kid that having a big 6 foot staff, they're going to have a tough time working with the staffs. That's why I always got to go with something smaller. Now, when it comes to open style katas, this would be the one you have. This one got me first place in the Battle of Detroit 20 years ago. First place out of, I want to say it was out of a competition of people of 7. This won me first place out of all of them. And all I had to do was just do the kata. I did the kata twice, because the main thing is that whenever you do a kata, especially traditional kata, you always got to have a backup. As a warrior code, warrior wisdom, always be prepared. So the thing is, whenever I go to a tournament, it was actually great wisdom and advice from my sensei. Don't have just one kata. You might just forget it and then you're done. You're basically disqualified, or you just quit. And that is the worst thing. That's the worst thing to do. You train so hard, and then once you get to the judge, you forget your kata. No, you get nothing. So that's why it's always best to have not just one, not just 2, but 3 katas at most. Basically, of 7 people in your division, 7 people, and I got first place out of it. Now with 2 other ones, but 7 people, that means 3 people won, and 4 people got basically lost out of 7 people. Hey, competition can get real fierce. At one point, there were 6 people in my division, and I lost because I couldn't climb up the ladder with this one bow. But hey, everyone is different. Everyone's trained different. When it comes to stuff like open style katas, such as like hand katas or weapons katas, this is one staff they use all the time. So the only thing I got against open style katas with weapons is that, yes, they're there for showmanship. Yes, everyone's there to have fun. But the problem is, the reason why I call them open circus katas, because they're very flashy. They're all about showmanship, whether with the hands or with the weapons. And people believe they can actually fly. They can actually fly in the real world. Just FYI, in reality, you ain't gonna be flying over 5, 10 people. Show me a grandmaster Show me a grandmaster who believed that he was untouchable, invulnerable, immortal. There's no such thing as an untouchable fighter. At some point, if you're fighting against 5 people, you're going to get touched, you're going to get hurt, you're going to be down on the ground if you are not prepared for what you're going to do. Regardless of your weight, height, skill level, it does not matter. If you're not prepared to fight multiple attackers with your hands or feet or with a weapon, you are going to be down on the ground, you're going to get killed. So it's always best to be prepared. That's why I say again and again, in America, respect your Second Amendment rights, know exactly what to shoot, be aware of your surroundings. Have some common sense when you go down the street. If something doesn't feel right, don't be there. Simple as that. Use logic. So in real life, it doesn't matter if you're amateur or grandmaster, you are still human. You can still get hurt regardless of what weapon you got. That's FYI for you. So, those are my final 3 weapons. And now I'm going to show you my nunchucks. So, these are basically a smaller version. So, and of course, take some time to do for. So whenever you do actually start doing nunchucks, you always want to start with something a lot lighter. Like I said, these are basically the real thing. But where you start, always start with a foam rubber. Now the thing is, these won't actually hurt as much. They won't hurt as much, but they'll still sting. The real ones might actually break bone. So therefore, when you practice, always practice with rubber. That's so if you ever do actually hit yourself, it ain't gonna hurt as much. If you hit yourself with the real ones, you're gonna get a big bad gash in your forehead. Or if you're a man, your boys are not gonna like it down there. So you don't have to worry about changing your gender if you got nunchucks. You can do the nunchucks for you. So therefore, like I said, that's my final collection of my weapons. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe to this video. Share this video. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. This is Al McDowell, sign off.